Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we're looking at the Tomahawk. The Tomahawk was first introduced to the United States as a toy in 1986. It included lift ticket and was also sold in 87 and unfortunately discontinued domestically in 1988. Lift ticket version 1, um, packaged exclusively with the Tomahawk here. Taking a look, he did have the nice bendable arms, the standard style action figure that we're used to. And then here on Yo Joe, we have some wonderful views, which is why we love to come here and just see what it's got for the toy itself. Um, so, really, kind of looking at this, the um, the Tomahawk is really GI Joe's take on the Chinook. In all reality, I don't understand exactly why they put uh, the rotor, not the rotor blade, but the side stabilizing rotor here on there, and I don't know the actual technical word for it. Um, because with the twin rotors up here, we don't really need that one, but we have it on here. Um, but there again, with the Hasbro team and how they design things, they sometimes put a lot of that stuff on there that, like a gun with two barrels and stuff like that. They like to go a little overboard, a little over the top, which is just a trademark of what Hasbro does for GI Joe. But it is interesting. I was sitting there thinking that this reminds me of the Chinook in a lot of regards, but there again, having some of the features that they do have on here, it just kind of throws me for a loop until I saw what its original designation is. So I looked over on Joepedia, and that's where I really kind of it did fully click on there in my mind here. Um, and we'll see what we got here as far as our pictures go. Before I forget, I do want to mention, because I usually do, originally this retailed for $13. So that's very interesting to think about it in today's view. Think about it in today's view because this is 40 years ago. So uh, $13 was quite a bit of money. A lot of our GI Joes went for like $3, $4, and um, I think a lot of the Transformers went for 5 to 10. Um, Being a little bit more mechanical parts there. Okay, so Sunbow looks like Slaughter's Marauders right here. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna mess some of this up here. I believe this is Chuckles. This is shoot, he's the MP, and I can't think of it with his dog. Um, I'm a little uncertain as far as this guy goes. It could be Tunnel Rat, and that looks like Red Dog right there, getting onto one of the Tomahawks. All right, and then we have European missions for GI Joe, as we have Flint, Beachhead, Snake Eyes. Um, Yeesh, you got looks like Dusty here. Lift tickets piloting, and I cannot think of this gentleman's name here firing. Um, he's their communication specialist, and I can't think of his name. I'm failing here this morning. Okay, so looking at it in all, so Tomahawk heavy lift assault slash troop carrier helicopter. It comes in at a whopping 37,000 pounds. Speed is 175 miles an hour. Two-man crew. Uh, has it can go about 240 miles per hour, unloaded and with a minimum armament. Has a range of about 320 miles, fully loaded. Um, Armament. It has six 250-pound Cardinal wing mounted general purpose demolition bombs and two short range air to air radio controlled visually sighted missiles. Okay, the Tomahawk is an all weather, all or all-weather air sea rescue craft. An assault team of 10 can make use of the rear loading ramp or side doors. The main winch has a capacity of 2.5 tons. So pretty respectable in a lot of regards. I really don't know what the Chinook itself can do. And of course, I can't read this. It's way too small on my computer screen. I don't have that big of a screen here on my laptop. All right. So what I can read here, we have a certified ground ordnance neutralizer and all-weather air sea rescue craft. The Tomahawk is G I Joe's primary recon and airstrike flyer. Put it on the line, and it cuts through Cobra's army like Swiss cheese, one hole at a time. It's a nice support aircraft, being able to bring in the Joe crew. So, and of course, we have their commercial spot, which would be wonderful. All right. Let's see. Let's flip on over to what we have for our stats itself. Now, like I said, I did see on Joepedia that its original designation is a CH, which would be like the Chinook for its time frame. And I know the Chinook has actually taken quite a bit of variations over the years. When it first went into service, it did have these kind of pods here for the wheels, and then later on, they put the flotation all the way on there, so that way if it had to land on water, it could actually kind of survive there. Because the Marine Corps is the one that's using it, they really require that, which is really a good feature to have on there in my mind, because the Marines are operating in all theaters of operation. Trying to figure out exactly how to properly say it. I know that, like with the Army, me having been in the Army, we will go wherever we're told to go. But the Marines really do excel in getting onto the shore. So going from their assault ships onto the shore and all that stuff. So, taking a look at this, the Tomahawk is at a Walker scale. Now, I don't know if I went overboard at it being at Walker scale. I think I probably did. But keep this in mind. Our aircraft are at starfighter scale, so this is one bump below that. Okay, so I am keeping it in regards to that, or keeping all that in mind here. This is 64 feet in length, about 20 meters. Has two pilots, one flight engineer. I think I threw that in there because my best friend was a flight engineer, and the fact that from what he had explained, they don't really fly without someone as a flight engineer there to help keep things going. The other thing is, if we are going to use the winch or anything else, I think you're going to need an extra person besides the two pilots there, because I don't think you're going to just get up out of a pilot seat while flying. So that way you have a crew member that can kind of man a side gun or take care of the other things there. That's why I threw that in there. Okay, passengers, we have 11 troops or 6 stretchers. Cargo capacity is 3,000 pounds or 1,400 kilograms. We do have full coverage. Altitude, we have 19,000 feet or 5,800 meters. I gave it a maneuverability of 3D. I figured it would be fairly maneuverable up in the air. Most helicopters are move. I have 175 miles an hour or 282 kilometers an hour. Now, I'm going to take a quick peek here because I'm trying to remember what it said in our card. It said it went 240 miles an hour. Okay. Just trying to make sure I'm keeping things all in perspective. And as I'm trying to find my spot here, okay, I do have this wrong. So, flipping back and forth here, 240, that's what we want to get it at. So let me kind of fix that. Now, oops. I'm trying to find the right tab here because the way this formatted, I'm going to have to redo some of this. Um, Now, I don't have this in the correct um, kind of thing here. I'm going to use the old Google, which is how I try to do a lot of my stuff, and I cheat. I admit that. So we're looking at 240 miles per hour in kilometers per hour. So we can get that answer miles per hour as it speaks to me. 386 is what we're going to put down for our kilometers an hour. As you hear my phone trying to talk back to me. All right, I give it a body strength of 5D. I figured that would be kind of respectable. G I Joe, I think, would probably try to keep their stuff a little bit more armored than standard. Um, but on the other hand, that would be like a 3D for your starfighters. So if we're going up against starfighters, and our aircraft would be considered starfighters, this would be a hull of 3D. So I figured that would be pretty respectable. Just looking at it in that regard. Okay, we have one heavy repeating cannon because it does have the cannon in the front. It has a fire control of 2D. This is all at Walker scale, and it's at 7D damage. Now, when I was thinking about this, it would be a 5D if this was Starfighter. So this is why it seems a little higher. Okay, because I'm figuring that this would be Starfighter stuff, but the cannon, heavy repeating cannon, would be the same that you would throw on a Starfighter, but because it's at this, and I'm saying it's, you get the point. I'm saying it's at Walker scale, so the damage would go up a little bit. Fire control will be a little higher when we are shooting against a Starfighter because it's a higher scale, but our damage goes down. We have 2 heat-seeking missiles because wherever I got it from, I had 2 heat-seeking missiles. So I gave that a fire control of 4D at Starfighter scale and 7D damage because that would be pretty well on par with, I think it's our photon torpedoes. So I was kind of thinking in those regards, okay? And then we have 6 cluster bombs at Walker scale, and we have fire control is 1D because these are just straight drop. So quite often it goes off or more off of your pilot than it is the aiming because it takes a little bit of work there. Let's see, range dropped flyover. Maybe I could have worded that better. And damage is 4D at Walker scale. 100-foot line of impact. So being a cluster, I figured it would be. So you'd figure out roughly where you are, and then go out about 100 feet as the little, it opens up and it has all the little cluster bomblets going all over. So that's what we have here. It is a wonderful and a nice iconic bird. I don't know. I really have to start figuring out how the view should go on here. Page layout. See, now if I do a page layout like this, then I really skew things. So we'll just keep it here. Seeing that it's not like I'm intending to print this out right now. Maybe in the future I will. I present this, so if it's something you're interested in, by all means, pause it. Take notes of it and everything else and put it into a game and run it. Have fun with it. That's the intention here. But I don't think I'm going to be printing this off anytime soon myself. So that's why I got it on the computer. And like I said before, we're not playing this as a game right now. Maybe in the future we will. But as I get more stuff added into this, it opens it up for a lot more ideas. So hope you enjoy the series. It's wonderful to bring this to you every day. I'm going to have to keep continuing on. This is actually, I think, the last one I've got created at the moment. So I will have to continue on because we are only at 1986, and this does go quite far out. It's just that we got a little bit more bizarre. I was trying to hit a lot more of the iconic vehicles, which comes earlier on. But seeing that we're doing this as a series, we're going to keep continuing on here. We'll have another one for tomorrow. We'll get it created and we'll get it out here. With that, hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.